A beautiful day greeted our patrons for our first game of the season on the 29th of April, which was our 2022 Grand Final replay between Grassy and North, which saw Grassy follow on from their 2022 Grand Final win to beat North again by 35 points. Tyler Rhodes got amongst the goals, kicking 4, with Brandon Blomfield kicking 3, while Dale Reid, Tristan Forrest, Ned Hunter and Justin Summers all kicked 2. Tyler could have added more to his tally, but taking the man on the mark did not go well for him. Jackson Taylor missed a sitter in front of goal, but was still amongst Grassy's best, along with Charlie Warner in his one and only game for Grassy, with Ryan Fozzie also having a good game. For North, Luke Graham, Justin Summers and Keening Fanning all played well. The game was stopped at one stage for a player count, which saw North with one too many players on the ground, but this did not change the outcome of the game. A crisp, clear day saw Grassy take on Curry for the first time this season in our round 2 game, with both sides fielding full sides in their own right, after Curry were struggling early to get enough players. 4 goals from Tyler Rhodes and Freddie Tatawaka helped Grassy come away with a solid 68-point win. Main goal kickers were Tristan Forrest, who kicked 3, along with Campbell Keeler. A black dog became a ground invader, with him being able to escape just before he could be apprehended. Brandon Blomfield was amongst Grassy's best again, along with Jackson Taylor, Jack Nosuda, while for Curry, Jack Ude, Jack Worrell, Tyler Smith and Doug Cox all had good games. James Jakawenko was enticed back onto the playing field and was welcomed with a whack on the head to only see it called play on, while Dale Ellis was busy on the phone while running the boundary. Our round 3 game between North and Curry saw Abraham, James and Sam Shires all come over to play with their cousins Dale Ellis, Jeremy, Justin and Jai Summers, with James kicking 8 goals for the game to see North win comfortably by 48 points. Jeremy kicked 3, while for Curry, Joel Williams kicked 2. Sam and Abraham Shires were amongst North's best, along with Justin Summers and Keenan Fanning, while for Curry, Tyler Smith, Josh Bell-Chambers and Nathan Allen all played well. We also had a reporter from the Australian Associated Press over doing a story on our league, while Jai mistimed his mark to see it hit his head. Grassy were struggling to find players for our round 4 game against North, which saw them pull Andrew Grinner-Johnson, Brendan Osborne and Brett Geertzimer out of retirement. Plus they had Tom Graham, Jack Ude and Doug Cox top up as well, which helped them to a 23-point win. Tom enjoyed his game as he kicked 4 goals, while Jack also had a good day up forward kicking 3, with them being amongst Grassy's best players. For North, Justin Summers was the only multiple goal kicker with 3, with him also being in their best players. Other good players on the day were Dale Ellis, Jeremy Summers and Matthew Button in his first senior game. Tristan Forrest, Dale Reid and Ryan Payne, also playing his first game, were amongst Grassy's best, while Jack Nusida was after some clarification from Mark for an earlier decision. Martin Gaffney, Jay Schultz and Jack Anderson from AFL Tasmania were over for the weekend and helped out, with Martin umpiring in both the juniors and the seniors, with Jay running for Grassy and Jack for North. Curry got their first win of the season with a 19-point win over Grassy. Both teams took to the field with only 13 players each, with Curry needing the help of David Valacoop, Justin Summers and Taylor Cook from North to help them get to 13. Dylan Keeley was home and played his first game for Grassy in a long time. Justin kicked 2 for Curry, along with Tom Graham, Nathan Allen and Taylor Cook, while for Grassy, Craig Constable, Aaron Wardlaw and Tristan Forrest also kicked 2. Mark Mackey was amongst Curry's best in his one and only game for the season, with Jack Ude and Michael Lasky. Marty Monson, Dylan Keeley and Jackson Taylor were amongst Grassy's best players. Our round 6 game was between Curry and North and saw Curry struggling to field a side, but with the help of Arnie Stillmaker, Craig Constable and Jackson Taylor from Grassy, they managed to run out with 12 players, while North ran out with 15, and it showed as they won comfortably by 86 points. Major goal kickers were Jeremy Summers with 5 and Beau Mullen with 3. There was another 4 players that kicked 2 for North, but the biggest roar was for Brett Noonan when he marked and kicked his first goal. Beau was having a good game in front of goal, but was feeling a bit uncomfortable after this incident. Some of the better players for the day were Jack Worrell, Tom Graham, Michael Lasky, Brodie Milgate, Justin Summers, Blaze Mallinson and Keenan Fanning. Our round 7 game between Grassy and North saw North run out with a full list on the team sheet and Grassy with 14. The game started in nice conditions, but later it started to rain, which made play difficult at times. Grassy were too good for North again, winning by 19 points. Tyler Rhodes kicked 3 and Freddie Tatawaka 2, while for North, Matthew Button and Jeremy Summers kicked 2 each. Better players for Grassy were Sam Reeves, Jack Nusita and Jackson Taylor, while for North, Alex Goldsmith, Justin Summers and Matthew Button were amongst their best. Jeremy Story Carter from the ABC was over to do a story on us and found the weather conditions trying. Grassy met Curry in our round 8 game, with Curry calling on Bailey Rainbow, Alex Goldsmith and David Vellacoop from North, and our ABC reporter from last week, Jeremy Story Carter, to help them get 14 on the ground, with Grassy fielding a full list of 16. This was a milestone game for Arnold Stillmaker, who at 55 years of age got to play with his 15-year-old son Charlie for the first time, with this being Charlie's first game in the seniors. Grassy had a good 36-point win, with Tristan Forrest kicking 3, along with Cruz Osborne in only his second game, while Jeremy Story Carter kicked 3 for Curry. Rory Taylor had a good chance to score, but shanked the kick to see it go out on the full, while David Vellacoop had a sure goal smothered on the line. For Grassy, Brandon Blomfield had a good game, along with Isaac Daniel in his first senior game, along with Cruz Osborne, Ryan Payne and Charlie Stillmaker, while for Curry, Jeremy Story Carter was amongst their best, with Joel Williams, Rowan Jones and Tom Graham all having good games. It was also nice to see the old helping out the new when James helped Isaac with his cramp. North were too good for Curry in our round 9 game to see them win by 21 points. Glenn Aldridge came over to finish his football playing career with North and had a good game with it. Curry had Max Sainsbury play, who was over for a visit, which saw him kicking 3 goals for the game. David Vellacoop also kicked 3, while Keenan Fanning and Jeremy Summers kicked 2 each. Missing goals seemed to be the go today, as Tom missed this sitter, while Matthew missed this one, but made up for it a bit later. Justin got hold of Rowan and gave him a bit of a swing, while James was finding it a bit slippery underfoot, and David left Loki not feeling the best after this tackle. Justin Summers was amongst the best players again, along with Bailey Rainbow and Dale Ellis, while for Curry, Josh Bellchambers, Dylan Beecroft, Jack Ude and Max Sainsbury all played well. Andy Summers made a return to football for North to play with his cousins Dale Ellis and Justin and Jai Summers, but he did not bring good weather with him as the conditions were extremely wintry, which saw a close round 10 game with North getting their first win over Grassy in quite a few years by 8 points. Andy didn't mind the conditions too much as he worked hard for the ball and ended getting his jumper pulled off, but was still able to kick 3 goals. David Bellacoop also kicked 3, while Justin kicked 2, as did Tyler Rhodes. Tom was taking his boundary throw-in duty serious, making sure players knew where he was going to throw the ball, while Jackson Taylor got a 50-metre penalty to the goal line and missed. Taylor Cook played well for North, as did Dale Ellis and Keenan Fanning, while for Grassy, Aaron Wardlaw, Jackson Taylor and Brad Reeves were amongst their best. The conditions were that slippery that Bailey was unable to stop his momentum and ended up on top of Justin. Our round 11 game between Curry and Grassy came down to a last quarter fight back by Grassy to see them win by 7 points. Curry once again called on 3 North players to help them out, with Bailey Rainbow, Keenan Fanning and Dale Ellis pulling the boots on for them. Tyler Hudson kicked 3, with Jackson Taylor kicking 2, along with Tom Graham and Doug Cox. Best for Curry were Josh Bellchambers, Jack Ude and Jack Worrell, while for Grassy, Jackson Taylor, Dylan Keeley, Brady Rhodes and Marty Monson had good games. Slippery conditions greeted teams again in our round 12 game between Curry and North. Curry had Charlie Raff and Sukmar Bowling play their first game of the season, and what a difference it made for them, as in conjunction with Doug Cox they helped Curry to a 30-point win over North. Luke Graham kicked 3 for North, with Keenan Fanning 2, with Campbell Keeler and Jack Ude kicking 2 each for Curry. Charlie Raff had an outstanding game, with some smart thinking getting him out of trouble and able to clear the ball, but did miss the odd goal. Friendly fire saw James end up with a sore head, while Luke Graham shanked one of his kicks at goal, and Wayne Hamer also found it difficult to keep his feet in the slippery conditions. Doug Cox, after his break, was playing well, as was Josh Bellchambers, while for North, Riley Badnock, Alex Goldsmith and Dale Ellis all played well. Our round 13 game between Grassy and North was our Bellevue Cup game, which saw 2 of their employees play, with James Dornoff playing with Grassy and Nathan Jackson playing for North. This was a tight game, with North having the better of the game for 3 quarters, but another last quarter surge by Grassy saw them run out winners by 20 points. The only multiple goal kickers were Dale Reid, James Dornoff and David Vellacoop, all with 2 each. Craig Constable played his 100th game for Grassy, which is a mean feat, while Brady Rhodes got his jumper ripped from him in this tackle. Dale Ellis had another good game for North, along with Justin Summers and Matthew Button, while for Grassy, Brandon Blomfield, Dylan Keeley and Cruz Osborne had a good game for them. Both Grassy and Curry fielded full team sheets for our round 14 clash, which was Grassy's last roster game of the season. A 7-goal haul by Tyler Rhodes helped them to a comfortable 56-point win. Tyler Hudson kicked 3, with Tristan Forrest, Jackson Taylor, Clint Stretton and Jack Ude all kicking 2 each. Aaron Wardlaw was playing well out of the back line, only to spoil it with this kick. Tristan wasn't happy with his treatment from Jack after his kick, but it ended up giving him an easy goal, while Josh and Sukma only had eyes for the ball and collided to see it dribble over the line. Both Josh and Sukma were amongst Curry's best, along with Loki Bell, and for Grassy, Brandon Blomfield, Tristan Forrest and Aaron Wardlaw were amongst their best. Our final roster game of the season went down to the final siren. Scores were level when Curry got the ball out to James Jakowenko, who marked, and then the siren went. North stacked the back goal line, but James managed to kick a point to see Curry win in what was a great game to watch. James kicked 4 for the day, as did Jeremy Summers, with Bailey Rainbow and Doug Cox kicking 3 each. James could have had more had he not hit the post with this attempt. Riley Badnock was amongst North's best players, along with Ned Hunter and Justin Summers, while for Curry, Jack Worrell, Michael Lasky and Sukma Bowling were amongst their best.